Thank you, Margie, and good evening, everyone. It's such a pleasure to be here, and our Executive Director of the Center for Intergenerational Learning, Dr. Henkin, is here with us. And I'm also joined with my colleague, Hitomi Yoshida, and we're happy to accept this award on behalf of Project Shine and the Intergenerational Family at Temple University. I also would like to extend our gratitude to the J.M. Kaplan Fund and the Migration Policy Institute for such a brilliant initiative and for really raising the profile of the work that we all do in our communities to make it a much more integrated environment for immigrants. And last but not the least, I would like to thank our funders and the Corporation for National and Community Service, MetLife Foundation, and New York Life for supporting our work and for believing that this work matters and it needs to be done. SHINE, as you've heard, stands for Students Helping in the Naturalization of Elders and has had a long and abiding commitment to immigrant integration that has been sustained for over a decade despite the shifting landscape in funding. And it is such an amazing model, and it's a beautiful American story. The enormity of the work that we do, the thousands of students who are mobilized every year and matched up with immigrant communities to help immigrant elders learn English, become part of the fabric of this society, and develop the skills they need to take better care of their health. It's a value proposition that cannot be debated by anyone. And as I said, it's an American story because it all started in Philadelphia several years ago, 1997, when a monk elderly refugee committed suicide. And while this was such a tragic incident, our executive director, with her vision and her ability to see beyond what it's obvious to most people, decided to transform this tragic incident into an opportunity and create a framework for two-way integration that looked at a gap in service delivery, where oftentimes immigrant elders, an underserved segment of the immigrant population, never really get the benefit to leverage the resources that are often directed in immigrant communities. And she created this framework, which we now celebrate across 16 different states, called SHINE, that brings people together, brings students together to teach immigrant elders English language skills. And also, on the other hand, instill an ethos of service to these students and give them a window into different cultures and different ethnic communities and older generations that they otherwise would not have gotten in a regular classroom environment. As an immigrant from Africa, Cameroon specifically, I know firsthand what it means to be integrated into the fabric of this country. I came here over 13 years ago with a sole desire and interest to be part of the fabric of this society, whether it involved learning English, participating in the civic life of this country, or really integrating into the workforce and contributing to the GDP. They are all tremendous hurdles that we must undergo. And as dedicated and as committed as I was to becoming part of the fabric of this country, many immigrants share this sentiment. We all want what American-born citizens want. We want an opportunity to improve our lives. We want an opportunity to contribute our talents, our skills, and our abilities. We want an opportunity to share in the American dream. And despite some of the argument to the contrary, immigrants have assets. And immigrant elders also have assets in our communities, especially at a time where we are called to do more with less, that we don't have a single human being to waste. Immigrant elders can be brought to the table and should be brought to the table to help address community concerns, whether it's helping to mentor a child and prevent this child from dropping out of school, to helping in creating safer communities as block captains and town watch people, to volunteering at our local hospitals as greeters. We need to look beyond what is obvious and look at untapped resources who are immigrant elders and bring them to the table, because because it is a viable strategy in addressing our community concerns. The SHINE model has a broader applicability. America is aging, we know that. But what is also beautiful about this model is that not only is it used to engage immigrant elders in service to their community, it has also been used to engage boomers in service to their community. Most people who are retiring have tremendous skills and abilities and have a strong desire to continue to connect and contribute to their communities. And the SHINE model has ensured that we've gone beyond just the realms of engaging immigrant elders and students to also look at this community of growing boomer generation, to bring them to the table and ask ourselves, how can we leverage their resources, their talents, their knowledge, their abilities to address community concerns? It is at this time we are challenged to look at other ways, clever ways to do more with less. We're challenged to think about how do we expand the horizon of the work that we do. And we're challenged to also look at how do we mobilize resources in ways that have not been done before. We can no longer continue to simply rely on funding if it dries up. I think one of the beautiful things about Project SHINE is in its ability to mobilize a diverse cohort of not just American-born students, of immigrant adults, and of boomers, to bring them to the table and say, how can we leverage the collective assets of all these members, and how can we put our collective shoulders to the wheel to push this issue and make sure that our communities recognize that everyone matters and everyone has an asset, and every asset must be leveraged. This award will be put to very good use, I can assure you that. And it would allow us to go deeper in our work. It would allow us to reinforce our belief of investing in human capital across the lifespan, and to create viable communities to ensure that there's quality of life and well-being for everyone, to leverage untapped resources in clever and smarter ways, and to make America more competitive. Thank you so much.